What's going on? What's going on? It's another edition of the ATL 3 Style Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Lee OG. What's going on, everybody out there, man, in podcast land? And before I can get on into this thing, man, I got to give it over to my boy, man, that's helping me hold it down out there on the south side, man. What's going on, Banks?
What up? What up, Leo? What's going on, everybody out there in internet land, podcast land, whatever land you from? What up with you?
Yeah, man. Banks, sound like you already ready. It's a Friday, man. As we record this, man, we'll drop this in on Saturday morning for everybody that tunes in faithfully to listen to the ATL 3 Style Live podcast, man. We really do appreciate all the love, man, and we thank y'all for just listening to us talk about what we're passionate about, Atlanta sports, man, and just giving our views from a fan's perspective. So look, y'all already can see that we're missing one, man. Obviously, y'all like, what's going on, man? We done had several shows without our man Derico, right? Several shows, right, Banks? He's been MIA.
He's in a nursing home for everyone who's asking.
Yes, he's been put away in the nursing home for everybody's asking. Listen, Derico is a very, very busy man. He's got a lot of stuff going on, man. He promises that he will be back as soon as all of his obligations have subsided. But he's a busy man. He knows a lot of people. He goes a lot of places. He does a lot of things. And sometimes it's, scheduling conflicts happen. So yeah, he's missed the last several podcasts, but guarantee he's okay over there in Shady Acres at the nursing home, and he'll be back just as soon as he can. So you know what? Shout out to our boy Derico Banks over there at Shady.
Listen, if you want some visitations, hit us up. We'll hook you up with the visitations and what days he can see people and stuff. Because I'm pretty sure he's doing his bingo right now. So we don't want to disturb the man.
It might be a little too late for bingo. They may already had bingo. They do Jello at 4:00 and bingo at 6. It might be lights out by now.
Oh.
Well, he might. The turn up might be in the bed right now, man. So yeah, shout out to our boy Derico, man. So he'll definitely join us and get back on it here at a later date as we discuss all things ATL sports and all things sports just in general, man, because we got a lot to get into and a lot to talk about tonight. We'll talk about the teams here locally and a few things here, Banks, just me and him just discussed off air. But before we get into it, man, we definitely got to give some shouts out to some partnerships, man, that we definitely want to feature, man, some small businesses that are doing their thing, man. Banks, you already know what time it is. Let everybody know about the first one that we got going on, brother.
Well, this is a good one here with my boy Phil, Eastland's Woodworking Company. Listen, you guys want some woodworking done? You guys want a plaque on the wall? Anything for special occasions, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, graduations coming up, prom, hell, even prom. Hey, listen, you want these ashtrays? You want these wood slabs? You just want a plaque or anything with something personalized for you, by you, or anything. Give you an example. There you go on the screen right there. You can get it this, and I have another example right here in my hand right now. You can see with the Falcons logo, and of course, that's the B for Banks. So hit up my boy Phil. Hit that QR code whenever you see it, and I'll tell us we sent you.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to our boy Phil out there on the east side, man. And definitely, as always, man, I definitely got to shout out my boy Bachi over there with BEZ. Moisturizing and conditioner spray, man. You know what I'm saying? He got it for your beard, man, for all your hair needs, beard, fake, whatever. Because Derico keep talking that noise about, can I try it? Can I try it? You know what I'm saying? Well, dude, yeah, you do got, I guess you don't grow hair on your face, Derico, but you grow it on your head. So, yeah, we'll give you some. You can spray it in there like Stay Soft Fro and see if it'll help. If it'll help the hair on your head, man. Hit my boy up, man, over there. 470-222-9927. 470-222-9927, man. Hit him up, man. Let him know what you're trying to get, man. Works on natural hair braids, smells good. It does wonders, Banks. Like I said, I've been using it on my beard because obviously I don't have any more hair on my head. So I put it in my beard, but yeah, it works. It works on all hair, natural hair, man. It does a good job, man. Shout out to our boy Bachi over there at BEZ. So, man, listen, let's not get too far off into it, Banks. Let's get this on out the way, man. I mean, it's a Friday, and we got, we do the fit check, drink check. We'll do that real quick as we get into the show. Banks, let everybody know what you're rocking this evening.
Listen, on this Friday, I'm ripping up these boys up there in Smyrna. Them Braves right there. As you can know that the season just kicked off yesterday. We're gonna get into that. And just got to rep them boys up there. We can't ever forget about them Braves. This is Braves country down here in the southeast parts, what they like to call it. But I'm doing the all reliable Mr. Leo in my nice Falcons cup. Um, Appreciate y'all. And of course, this is I don't have to say it. It needs no introduction. You already know what that is. So if you know me, you know what I drink, and that's like the sky's blue. You already know. So
Ladies and gentlemen, we're working with Banks to elevate his palate and elevate his his palate, and just for him to step out of his comfort zone. Obviously, we've been working on that for a while with him, so we'll continue to do that. Obviously, Duce is
listen,
not a
I
bad
don't
choice.
don't
I'm not
listen,
down in that
listen,
Duce isn't a bad
listen.
choice, but
I'm not saying I'll have a expanded horizon. I would drink anything, but my
don't say that. Don't no.
go-to,
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let
really,
you.
Leo, really, really,
Hey man,
I will consume any alcoholic beverage,
you
but
sure
this
about
is my
that?
go-to.
Are you
This is
are you
my
sure about that?
go-to.
Okay, all
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
okay. Hey,
When I go to
all
your
right,
house,
man.
do I
I'm
drink
hey,
whatever's there?
I'm gonna let he keep Banks talking like he an 18-year-old college kid at the frat party, but okay, all right, man. Yeah, okay. Do say is his go-to, ladies and gentlemen. Like he said, man, he'll get up with whatever, but he
Make
didn't want he
sure.
didn't want to retract on that, but okay. Because
Listen
I'm gonna
here.
let you know, I ain't drinking everything. I ain't drinking
Well,
that.
we know
I'm
we
gonna just
already
let
know
you
what
know.
you on. We already know what you on. Okay, that's like you're not coming off of that. Okay, I'm not coming off of this.
I know you got okay. All right, you got that do say, man. We got you. Like I said, not a bad choice, man. But we're gonna, we're gonna keep working with you. You know what I'm saying? We keep letting you dip into the good stuff and dip into the good stash, man, to see what it is, man. But no shade to the do say. No shade to the do say. The do say. So that's what's up. So like you said, representing for them Braves, doing it real big over there. So listen, man, I literally I was running, I'm here now. We're gonna crank this show up, man. Sipping a little bit of something just in the Glencairn, man. Y'all see it, man. I'm not trying to be too fancy this evening. It's a little bit of Bullet 12-year rye. Just a tad bit, just a little bit this evening, man. Trying to just get the palate together, man. It's really smooth, really good, man. I'm enjoying it this evening, and got a little something on Banks. First of all, I got to represent, man. Shout out to FOOTIEMOB Footy Mob ATL. Y'all see it, man. Y'all see the hat, man. Definitely got to represent. This is my own hat, my own style. How I've been doing it. I've been doing it for a while. Shout out, y'all see it, man. Each one of these pins is a stripe earned for being a member of the FOOTIEMOB. Man, love my Footy Mob fan, man. And y'all know what's up, man. Shout out to them and everybody that supports us. So it's kind of funny here, Banks, as we move into the show. I had something else that I was trying to do, but it actually didn't work because of the green screen and how we do the podcast. I got my background and I got my green screen, but as y'all can see, maybe y'all can see I'm rocking the green shirt, or maybe it's just a floating head on your screen. But I did that in honor of the Masters, man. Shout out to Augusta, Georgia, the state of Georgia, and we host one of the majors here in professional golf, the Masters, which is coming up right around the corner, Banks. So I threw on my Masters polo that you could only get exclusively at Augusta National if you're able to walk and grace that course. And I did have my hat on, but it just didn't work out. So I had to throw on my Footy Mob ATL hat, man. So shout out Footy Mob. But Banks, man, we're coming up on the Masters, man. Very, very iconic. Even if you're not a golf fan, man, and I've been there and I'll expand on here in just a minute, man. But growing up, man, being from Georgia and just the nostalgia about the Masters in Augusta National, man. Do you have any memories, or do you kind of have any stories to talk about how, like, or what you've heard about what Augusta National is and what the Masters is all about?
Sadly, I haven't had a chance to get to Augusta to see it personally with my own eyes. But what I've been told is that it's the Disneyland of sporting events, whatever that means. But I would love to see anything that is grand in that same comparison, Disneyland of sporting events. Okay. I'll check it out, sir, and I will put my opinion in it. And but for what I'm hearing, nothing but great positive things about that course.
Man, I was just telling you off air, man. It's like going to another planet, man. When I set foot on that course, I just could not believe how immaculate it was and just how the upkeep. Like I said, I tell people all the time, TV does it no justice. I mean, if you've watched it on, I don't care what definition TV you got. I don't care. You got the projector, 70, 90, 120-inch projection, 1080p, 4, 5, 8K. I don't know but it does it will not I don't care what resolution you got, it does not do it any justice, man. I tell this all the time to people. If you have an opportunity to go to Augusta National, whether you're a golf fan or not, if you get that opportunity, do not turn it down. It is something that you absolutely have to see with your own eyes. It is amazing. It is one of the, in my opinion, biggest things in all of sports. And I was just so able to attend. Shout out to my boy Joe for hooking me up, man, because I know a lot of people been on that list to try to get tickets for years and years and years. It's a very hard and exclusive. It's almost like the Super Bowl, Banks. It's hard to get in and go. But it's one of those things, especially being right here in our home state of Georgia, being a major and being able to just say, you know what, one of these, big sporting events resides here every year is just cool to me, man. And the way they do it, Banks, like literally, man, you go into the course, it's immaculate, it's beautiful. You go in it. I don't know if you've heard about the food. Like you go in and they still have like the nostalgia, like egg salad sandwich for $1.50. Where you gonna go get any type of food for $1.50 unless it's a bag of chips, right? You know what I'm saying? A Coke for $1. The beers are and the alcoholic beverages are reasonably priced, man. You just go in there and have a good time, man, and just watch golf and just be in awe of this immaculate course, man. It is something to see, man. And hopefully, Banks, man, we'll get you up there one day to just check it out, brother.
Looking forward to it.
I want to go back just to eat some egg salad sandwiches and pimento cheese sandwiches, bro. That was the highlight of the day for me, man.
Well, the
Like
cheese
going to,
sandwich, that cheese sandwich looks kind of intriguing for me. I
hey,
would
man,
definitely try the cheese sandwich.
pimento cheese, egg salad sandwich. I got a barbecue pork sandwich. I don't eat pork, obviously, but I heard the barbecue pork sandwiches is awesome. They have their own signature drink there. It's called the Azalea. It's supposed to be pretty good. I didn't get a chance to taste one. I was trying. So Banks, here's a cool little story that I'll share with everybody with the podcast, man. So everybody tries to get I think I brought you back a souvenir, man, because everything about the Masters is exclusive. Either you're gonna buy merchandise on the secondary market and get price gouged, or you have to go there or know somebody that's going there to get you a souvenir from it, right? So, like, I got my shirt, I got my hat, I got my pullover, I got a bunch of different items and a bunch of different souvenirs from Augusta National. But one of the things that a lot of people like to collect are the cups because they're cheap, right? You get a Coke, it's $1 or $1.50. I can't recall the actual price, but it's or you get a beer, the beer is like $3, $5 or whatever. So what people like to do is collect cups. So as you walk Augusta National, you see guys with stacks and stacks of cups where they've consumed these beverages and they're going to take them back home or they're going to take them to their, friends and family, or they're going to keep them on their bars. So your boy Leo G, I was like, you know what? I got to try to collect some cups, man. To bring them back. And I got several here, but the story is I went with my son. Shout out to my son, Logan, at the time, who was, I think he was like 10 or 11 years old. So I'm like, Logan, you're going to have to help daddy drink some of these beverages to get some of these cups so we can get it back home. So, you know, telling the kid that he can have free range of beverage is not the best of ideas. He helped daddy bring some cups back, man. But like every 2 seconds, Dad, I gotta go to the bathroom. So that was an experience. So we were able to get, so shout out to Logan for helping me bring back, you know what I'm saying? I think I got maybe about 8 cups, man, but it took a lot out of him helping daddy drink, the lemonade he was drinking to help us get them cups back to the A Banks.
Listen here, what they call desperate times call for desperate measures. Listen here, shout out to Logan. Do your thing, brother. Help your daddy out. Next time, Mr. Leo, just say I've been. Don't need them on the souvenirs. Listen here, I know this is it's a once in a lifetime kind of thing, but you're gonna kill my man's kidneys. I mean,
No, no.
you stuffing him with sweet tea and lemonade all in one gulp. I mean, oh, good grief.
Oh man.
Logan, you a real one, brother. You are a real one.
Hey man, I ain't hit him too hard with it, man. He was good with it, man. But it was just cool, man. He was helping. It was hot. It was a hot day, so obviously we wanted to stay hydrated. And like I said, to get the souvenir cups, that was just a plus, man. So he helped us out, man. Helped me bring him on in, man. And he had a ball. He enjoyed himself, man. He really did, man. He one of those experiences. I hope he takes with him for a lifetime. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him back. But yeah, Augusta National and the Masters coming up here pretty soon. Also, speaking of things coming up here pretty soon, Banks. We ain't gonna go too much into detail, man. But our boy Banks, man, got a B day coming up here, man. It's gonna be epic here, man. Milestone B day coming up, man. How you feel? It's getting closer and closer, man. We're a couple of weeks out, Banks, man. I know you've been planning and getting ready, man. We're a couple of weeks out from it, man. How you feel, man? Milestone birthday coming up, brother.
Listen here, I want to let you know in the month of April, you got the NFL draft that happens. You got the not just April. I mean, you got everything leading up to April. You got the Final Four. You got proms. You
The
got
Masters.
the Masters. You got all these things, but you have the most important thing is this guy right here was born, and yes, that is an important day, and I'm going to celebrate him with my family. And check it out on social media. But
Okay, we
as
had we
all
had
the other
we froze up. Just continue. I'm sorry, brother.
okay, I don't know all what recorded, what didn't. But all I was saying was it's going to be an epic day, an all white event, friends and family. To celebrate a milestone that I would not share my age on here. I will. You will see my age once you get there because it's going to be posted all around the place. Look, no, Leo, no, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, ladies and gentlemen. That's not it. No. So, if you want to come, hit me up on the DMs. I will send you an invite by mouth because I cannot send anything. Shut up, Leo. I can't send anything. Can't send anything out anymore.
They got them DMs. Look, he got them DMs open, so y'all want to come.
I'm sorry. I'm having a laughing attack. I'm
It's all
sorry.
good. No, it's all good, man. We having some connection difficulties, man. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna get into the meat of the show. So one of the things here I wanted to discuss and wanted to talk about, you was talking about everything happening in the month of April. And one of the things that I had discussed with you is that one of the greatest, biggest sporting events and sporting spectacles is gonna happen on that weekend, that the day that you're gonna celebrate your B day, your born day, your day, and it's going to be WrestleMania. WWE's WrestleMania is going to be held out in Las Vegas, Nevada, 2-day weekend, 19th, 20th of April. It's going down. And I told Banks, I said, you know what, man? You must be very important to me, man, because I'm going to be missing the first night of WrestleMania to help you celebrate your milestone birthday, man. And I was just telling you, dude, that I am a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan for a while. I kind of turned it off for a minute, man, during kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s, like that whole attitude era kind of missed me. But now I done jumped back in it, man. Got a kid, man, wanted to kind of give him the same nostalgia I had as a child. As I watched some of my favorite wrestlers back in the day, the Dusty Rhodes, the Ric Flairs, the Ricky the Dragon Steamboats, the Macho Mans, the Hulk Hogans. So now I'm kind of, letting my son kind of really get some of that nostalgia with some of the new guys here in WWE, man. Shout out to my boy, my son's favorite wrestler, main event, Jey Uso, as he's gonna be headlining WrestleMania, man. Also Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, some of the heels over there, man. Jacob Fatu. Wrestling, man, it ain't never went no really where Banks. I mean, me and you was having a conversation off here, man. But yeah, it's big, man. WrestleMania is big. It's a huge draw. It's a huge money maker. It's going down Reliance Stadium out there in Las Vegas your same weekend, man. I know me and you have a little different look on wrestling, man. You said you were a fan, not too much into it now, man, but wrestling is big, and it's gonna draw for WrestleMania, one of the biggest sporting events in the States, man. Obviously, your birthday is bigger. Your birthday is bigger, but it is WrestleMania weekend.
Listen here, everyone, you got a sport for everybody. When I was younger, I grew up watching the what's the dude Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the guy who looked like Elvis Presley, Honky Tonk Man. Deuce Boogaloo. I don't know if you guys. I'm showing my age here.
Deuce Boogaloo.
Boogaloo, whatever his name was. Deuce Boogaloo.
Deuce Boogaloo.
I mean, listen here. I'm showing my age here, bro. He was one of those wrestlers. Of course, the Hulk Hogan's and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh my God, the names escape me.
Incredible Hulk.
No.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior. He was probably my favorite. He was my favorite warrior. My favorite wrestler.
The Undertaker, man. All of the cats.
Undertaker, yes, Undertaker. Listen, I grew out of it. I guess I don't know what happened. After I stopped watching it, I forgot. I don't know who these wrestlers are now. I can't even tell you who is who. I mean, I think the last wrestler that I know is John Cena, and that's it. After that, I don't know who it is. Who I don't have a clue.
Speaking of John Cena will be headlining WrestleMania for his last go round of WrestleMania. He will be retiring, man. So yeah, John Cena, man, still relevant, man, doing his thing. He's gonna be at WrestleMania as he takes on Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, man. So yeah, you still know a few people that's rocking it, man. In WWE, but like I said, we're gonna fire it up for your birthday, man. But obviously, man, we can't wait to fire that up to watch WrestleMania, because like I said, man, it's doing it big, man. But yeah, Banks, you still got a few people that's still out there. John Cena still doing his thing, man. So
listen here, everybody that I know is retired, and again, I'm showing my age. If I start naming these wrestlers, Triple H, John Cena, The Rock. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm showing that. Yeah, I haven't watched anything current when it comes to WWE. Like when I said WWF, that's when they changed the name for World Wrestling Federation.
That's when he told y'all he turning 50 years old. When he told y'all how old he was.
Listen, I was glued to the TV watching wrestling as a kid. I couldn't miss. I went through every single day watching wrestling, and that's even WCW, with Sting and
it was me. So I'm not gonna get too far off into it, man. I'm gonna have to devote a whole podcast to talk about mid South Atlantic, mid Atlantic, and Flair and then NWA, and then eventually talking how it evolved into WCW and how and where it is now. Obviously, I don't want to go into all of the history of it, Banks, but yes, man. And one of the biggest things was, before we start talking about the next subject here, was TBS was a big part of why we were such big wrestling fans because TBS carried NWA and WCW wrestling and Mid South Atlantic wrestling. So we got to see a lot of those superstars like Dusty and Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen and Lex Luger, Arn, Ole, Muda, all those guys, man, on TBS Superstation 17 here in Atlanta. If you, like Banks said, man, if you grew up in Atlanta, it was one thing for certain, two things for sure. You were gonna watch the Braves on TBS, and you were gonna watch wrestling on TBS. So we may not
and
watch.
Hawks and the
And the Hawks,
Hawks.
yeah, can't forget about the Hawks. They was on Turner as well over there on TBS, man. I don't know about, I ain't never watched the Heat of the Night or Madlock or Andy Griffith, whatever else came on over there. But I was damn sure watching wrestling. I was damn sure
No,
watching the Hawks and
Captain
Braves.
Planet, Captain
Captain
Planet,
Planet came
Captain
on
Planet.
TBS. Wow, you really telling your age now. Let's move on before you really tell your age. Tell everybody how old you was being born in the
Oh
late
God.
1900s. Listen, man, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Atlanta Falcons. Let's talk about them for a minute as we move through it. This show, man, got a couple of topics and a couple of things to talk about here, man. Like you said, man, draft coming up here in a couple of weeks. Couldn't be more excited, man. First of all, before we get into that, I'm not gonna Banks. I don't even want you to address this, but I gotta say something. I'm gonna say this. If you want to say what I say or have something to say, Bill Belichick, F you. Bill Belichick, F you. Moving right along. I just had to say that. I had to get that off my chest. I know that was random. Banks, we'll talk a little bit about that later. I hope Bill Belichick, I hope you fail at everything you do. I hope North Carolina never wins a game up there in Chapel Hill. Bill Belichick, I hope that you can, whatever. I hope everything fails up there at UNC. Okay, I had to get that off my chest. I'm through. We're done. We'll talk about that after the recording. So, Banks, let's talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons, man. Like I said, got the draft here coming up. Let's talk a little bit about, I want to discuss with you a little bit about the Falcons and Terry Fontenot and what the strategy is going into the draft. And I know there are a lot of fans. We talk about this from a fan's perspective. There are two different sides of the fence here when we talk about Terry. There are a lot of people that still saying that Terry needs to have some respect, that Terry got us out of a hole that we were in, and that he is moving the needle in the right direction. And you got another set of fans here that think that it's time for Terry to go, and Terry doesn't know what he's doing, and Terry is ruining his team, and it's time for a change at GM. Where do you stand, Banks, with Terry and what he's doing going into this draft here? I think this is year number, was it 5 for him? Is it 5 or 6?
I think
I'm
it's
not for certain.
five. Yeah, I think it's
It's the fifth,
five.
year number 5. I think it was, we had 3 years with Arthur Smith. Now this is the second year with Raheem. How do you feel about Terry? Because I think there's a lot of emphasis on him and what he's doing with his team in this. Either A, Terry's not doing enough, or B, let that man cook. How do you feel right now with Terry going into this draft?
Leo, I'm right dead in the middle. Um, I don't have a positive spin for him or a negative spin for him. Listen, what he did in the past is what he did. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt to kind of try to change it, trying to redeem himself. But he ain't doing a good job so far of doing that, trying to redeem himself in my eyes. I'm in the middle with the banana peel away from slipping over to the he got to get the hell out of here. So I I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this draft here, maybe he can redeem himself. And for what I'm hearing, and like I said, it's not going to be the most popular pick, and it's not going to be the one that everyone wants. But I think at this juncture of the team, I think this will probably make more sense than any of the last 4 drafts that he had. What I was saying, Leo, is that it was said that he sent all these scouts up to do the combine to see nothing but defensive players. Okay. It has been said that we might be going center in this draft first. And if that's the case, I mean, I'm not saying that's the wrong move. I mean, we let our dude go to Chicago. Um, his name escapes me, Leah. You might have to help
Dalman,
me out.
Dalman, Dalman,
Dahlman,
Dalman.
yes. He went on up to Chicago Bears, and we're left. We're not naked at the center position. We got this guy, this backup we had who played 7 full games for us. But for them to have this big I always say this: so with smoke, there's fire. You know, there's a possibility that we may go center in this draft. At first, I was like, "Oh no, that's gonna get him the hell out of here. That's the straw that's gonna break the camel's back." But then I start thinking about, it, I was like, "Well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe that's." I think people in the city are very like agitated to the point where it's like it's either defensive player or bust. Like you need to come out the gates with nothing but defensive players. We were right near the last in defensive in every category defensively. Now, I don't know if I can chalk that up to talent. I don't know if I can chalk that up to scheme. I have no clue. At this point, I just need something done. And if he's going to go center offensive lineman this first pick, he better have a plan. Because if not, I'm hate to say it, but he's going to be looking for a job. So I'm I think this season for me where I'm kind of like this is where I need to see something. And if I don't see any kind of trajectory of getting better, then we got to ship you out of here, brother.
Man, listen, I'm gonna say this much here, man. I shout out to Terry, man, because I do think, it was a hard task to inherit the team when he came in, right? I mean, I'm not making any excuses for him at this juncture, but I know for a fact, personally, I wouldn't have wanted to inherit the mess that he inherited coming into this situation 5 or 6 years ago. But he's got us to where we are now. Granted, there have been some head scratcher decisions. I don't want to go too far into the weeds talking about that because obviously those things are going to play out the way they're going to play out. I think we're handling those situations the way we need to. But let's talk about moving into the future. I think there's a sentiment here in this city that the Falcons just can't do right, whether it's Terry at GM, whether it's somebody else coming in at GM, Raheem at head coach, or whatever the case may be. There's there are a lot of people that feel as though that our owner is the main reason that we can't fully see our potential because he meddles. And I've been told by several people, man, that has talked to Arthur Blank, that is close to the situation, that that's not the case. That Arthur Blank has adamantly denied that he's meddled in the decision making of the people that he hires. And I can kind of say my opinion that I feel like I don't think he does. I think that he totally puts everything into the brain trust of the people that he hires. Now, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, man. Our boy Derek Cole included, and maybe you were very, very agitated and very, very uh they did not care too much for Rich McKay because they felt like that maybe he was one of the people that were holding this team back. But Arthur Blank and has removed Rich McKay from any of the football operations with the Falcons and moved him over to another side of his business ventures. But back to just getting with Terry, I think that Terry, is we're in a good place. Obviously, I think this draft obviously is going to be this is the draft that's going to make or break Terry Banks. I agree. Like we got to get a lot of things right. I think the trajectory is going up. I think for the most part, offensively, we have the pieces to be good. We were decent last year. Things fell apart for different reasons, but I think offensively we have the pieces. Like you said, I think Ryan Newsel, who stepped in at center when Dalman was hurt, he did well. Who automatically assumed that position. If I'm not mistaken, if we don't draft somebody high in the draft, that'll be actually his position. I think that's who is going to replace him, who stepped in for Dalman is Newsel, if I'm not mistaken. So I think offensively, you still have Jake Matthews. You still obviously have Chris Lindstrom, who's our linchpin guard, and also, Caleb McGarity over there on the right side. So, and not to forget our young buck over there on the left side at guard. I can't think of his name, Bergeron. So the offensive line is solidified. Obviously, we don't even have to talk about the weapons that we have on the offensive side of the ball. If we could all get them to click behind our young quarterback, we'll be okay. So, yeah, the smoke and mirrors is going to be what are we going to do with defense? Obviously, they let go of the defensive coordinator. So now we have Jeff Ulbrich that comes in. It's going to be the defensive coordinator. And if the rumors are true outside of what you heard with center, if we going to go defense, now we got to put everything together and we got to make it work. And we got to get this defense to a point where we're going to be competitive on defense and do ultimately what we want them to do and need them to do, and that's create a pass rush in the National Football League. With that being said, Banks, kicking it back over to you here now with the draft coming up. We did acquire a couple of people in free agency that should help us with the pass rush, i.e. Leonard Floyd. But how important in this draft, because this is what I'm hearing from a lot of fans, and I can kind of see this with myself as well. We have not been very successful in drafting pass rushers in the past. Let's be real about this. We have not. We have not done very, very well. It's been a long time since we had a bona fide pass rusher that come in here and be very, very successful. And I don't know if that's because of player development. I don't know if that's because we just not scouting right, or we not bringing in guys that fit, or the guys that we think we want here doesn't quote unquote go with the ethos that we're trying to build here. But do you think that pass rush, once again, is going to be a number one priority? And how comfortable do you feel with them if they do go after a pass rusher, that they actually get it right? Because that is one of the biggest arguments, is that if we do draft pass rush, that they're going to somehow mess this up once again.
It's just going on with the 28th season or something where we're looking for a pass rush in the draft. I'm numb to the fact that of what they do. What they do is what they do. I'm not going to put my hopes up of finding that dude. We have let guys go by the wayside, Leo. Lord knows we can sit back and do hindsight 1-on-1 and look at every single draft that these high profile pass rushers and defensive linemen that's over the years has made dividends and proved that they're great players in the league, and we had an opportunity to draft them and we didn't. Why didn't we? Why are we sitting here doing I don't know, Leo. I have no clue. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they do go defensive lineman in this draft. Okay. I mean, I have no clue if this is gonna be the right guy. I don't know. Everybody we drafted, we brought in has not panned out. Like, I don't understand what is the logic, and what is the likelihood of you not even just mistakenly finding someone that's that dude. Like, you can't even fall into something lucky, somebody that's good. We always get the wrong guy, and it's always he should never been drafted or he should never been picked up in free agent. Then what are we doing? Like, I don't know. What are we looking at? What is it, a background check that we're looking at for? I don't know, Leo, because see, that's why the whole narrative of what they were saying about Arthur Blank meddling came from. It's like, you can't tell me every single player that we bring in it just don't work. Like, are we not bringing in the right person? And it's like the right person's always not right for the Falcons. Like, I just don't understand that. Like, I don't
So,
I don't
so,
get that whole that movement of the wrong player is always
so,
the
yeah.
right player,
So listen,
So
so listen, so listen, Banks. I'm gonna call BS just a little bit on that, because a lot of people always say that, yeah, we'll talk about this quote unquote Falcons filter, or you hear Terry talk about ethos and bringing in the players that fit what they're trying to do. So let me kind of just dispel just a little bit as a fan from what I see, because if this was something that affected the whole team, we wouldn't see the talent that we have in, i.e. Drake London's and the Bijan Robinsons and the people like Grady Jarrett and some of the other guys that we've had on this team that have been very successful in other positions. Jesse Bates, the AJ Terrells. We've had guys that have been very good in different positions and have been able to excel and thrive here. It's just for some reason when it comes to pass rush, or when it comes to cultivating a culture on the defensive line of getting after the passer, we just somehow have missed the mark. But I can't just say that it's all something that has to do with a filter, or bringing in guys that just they aren't talented, because we have talented guys on this team. We do. So I don't buy the brand that we can't find talent. I think that that's not a problem that we're having. I think that, just my personal opinion, is the utilization of the talent that we've had. Part of being in the NFL, I think that some teams do better jobs with developing talent than others. I think that once you get to the NFL, a lot of times it's automatically assumed that guys are ready to go hand in dirt and they should be able to perform at that level. But I think there is a level of development that still needs to be done once they make it there. And I think certain teams do a better job than the Falcons, i.e., like the Pittsburgh Steelers, i.e., like the Baltimore Ravens. I think some of those teams, those are just the top two teams that came off the top of my head, where they have continued to bring in talent and they've continued to develop their talent and they've continued to see production out of the guys, on the defensive side of the ball and what they want to continue to do and the type of uh, scheme that they want and what they're getting out of those. Part of the thing is, two Banks, I think, is when we look at the Falcons, we always look for an identity. And it's hard for us. We talk about this all the time to like find an identity in where and what the Falcons are. Like, we talk about the Steelers and we talk about the Ravens and we talk about the Bills and the Chiefs, and we see their identity immediately when they come out. We know what they want to do. We know what they are. We know that the Steelers, no matter who's the coach, even though they haven't had that many, no matter who plays for that team, they are a blue collar, hard working, hard hitting football team. That culture is instilled in those players when they walk into the door, and it's cultivated, and this work, and it's developed. So I think that that's one of the things that the Falcons is going to have to get right. Yes, you want to have guys that are ready to come in and perform at that level. But I think that at the end of the day, you're still going to have to find ways to develop and cultivate that talent. I'm going to give you an example this year. Like Matthew Judon, he came here to help be, a mercenary free agent pass rusher here, and we didn't get the production that we wanted to out of him. But I think that was in part that they were not utilizing him right. I think that's why Jimmy Graham, I'm not Jimmy Graham, the defense coordinator, what was the defense coordinator? I'm sorry, Banks. It kind of escaped me right now. But the defense coordinator, Jimmy Lake, that's it. Jimmy Lake was fired was because of his utilization of the talent that he had on defense. Like I said, how many times did I get tired of watching Matthew Judon drop back 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, and I'm seeing Matthew Judon drop back or Lorenzo Carter drop back into coverage, and we got two people trying to rush the passer. Like, why is this? Why is this happening? Why do we have guys on this team that their bread and butter is getting after the quarterback, but they're dropping back in coverage, covering tight ends, or covering backs coming out of the back? That I did not understand. So I think that's a problem that Raheem is going to have to address, and he's going to have to figure it out. I do think they're going to have to go after a pass rusher to help kind of solidify this after we lost Grady. We brought in Leonard Floyd, obviously, but I think they're going to have to figure out how to develop talent and have to make it work with whoever they bring in here, who's ever their guy, and not making it to where, okay, it just didn't work out. Somebody's going to have to work out. You're going to have to make it work out. You're going to have to make it work out, Banks, in my opinion. You got to do it.
I'm going to touch on what you said about, bringing in talent in other positions and it working out. I'm going to ruffle some feathers and I'm going to go ahead and say it. When you look at teams, well, not teams, this team in particular, the Falcons, you bring in Drake London, you bring in Bijan Robinson. Yes, they are the top of their game of doing what they do.
Freezing up a little bit tonight. I don't know what's going on. Banks will
If
be back
you
in
have
just a
the
moment.
right, if you have the
There
right
he is.
interior lineman, you can plug in me or you into the running back receivers and it'll work. Okay. Not to dispel of what the Bijan and Drake London is doing. All I know is if your offensive line is decent or even elite, you can put anybody out there and do what they do. Okay. When you have someone that has to get after the quarterback, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit off base here, but I feel like if you that particular person that has to be the one that's on every snap got to go after that quarterback, you got to have a mean streak about yourself. You got to have a dog in you. You got to have this. I don't care about getting flagged. I'm going to put this quarterback on his ass. That attitude, versus the talent wise, okay, yes, you have defensive ends all over, but everybody can't do the same thing, okay? It's a few and far between of the ones that stands out, the ones that got a mean streak, the ones that got a little ragged, a ragged collar on them. That's what I was talking about, Leo. Are those the ones that we don't go after? And that's why I felt that if we always got to watch who we bring in here, the one with the little a little, just a little dirt on they knees a little bit, then we gonna look the other way and look for the choir boy. You're not gonna win with the choir boy. And I think we already
Well,
talked about this. We talked about this long
yeah,
time ago, and we
we have,
already know that you can't
here's the
win.
thing. You can't. You're not. You're right. You can't win in the NFL with a team full of choir boys, and I get that. But here's my comeback to that, Banks. As we move into the next subject, the next topic here. What about the Tack McKinleys? What about the Marlon Davidson? Those guys had chips on their shoulders. Those guys
Absolutely. Yes,
supposedly
yes,
were
you
supposed to
do.
have mean
Absolutely. But
streaks,
I
and they were
just said
supposed
it.
to be tough and rough and rugged.
Everybody's not going to be the same talent wise. But that doesn't mean you go after the guy who's, who bake cookies and sell it on the corner, every Sunday. When you do that, I mean, you gonna get what you get. I listen. You got some good guys out there who became Hall of Famers. Yes, you did. But I always seem like when it comes to this team, that's all we going after most of the time. Most of the time, I've never seen that we go after that controversial. Oh God, Falcons went after him. Yeah, he's a dog too. You know, we don't do that. That's not our MO. We're not going to do that. As long as Arthur Blank's the owner, we're not going to do that. Now call it what you want. He's gonna meddle in that. You best believe that. He's not gonna allow it. He's not going to allow it. And unfortunately, I feel as a fan that that mindset is going to hold us back. And until we realize talent is talent, and what you do off the field is what you do off the field. But talent is talent, and you can't take that away from people. Who they are is
I
who
think,
they
yeah,
are. If they're
I think,
good, they're
yeah,
good.
yeah. I
So
think there's somewhere where there's a fine line, and I understand exactly where you're coming from and what you mean by that is. But I don't want to. I definitely want. I don't want to go too far off into, because you got to think about this here, Banks. Here's the other side of that coin before we move on. Is that, yes, you do want guys. I think what you're saying is you want guys with edge. You want guys that are going to come in here and they're going to be able to produce and do the things. And sometimes it's going to come with a little bit of controversy and a little bit of edge. But what you gotta remember is too, Banks, is that there's a fine line between, hey, this draft is coming up. We need to make sure that the guys that we bring into this organization are going to do right by us, because we're going to pay them a lot of money. We're going to pay them a lot of money. And I think at the end of the day, that has to be taken into consideration. Like, yeah, I want an edgy guy. I want a guy that's going to come out there with some fire, breathing fire. I want that guy that's going to come out there and give me what he can. But at the same time, Banks, guess what? I don't want the guy we're going to bring him in, we're going to draft him, we're going to pay him a lot of money. And then all of a sudden, this guy is just not in it for football. And this guy is, you know, out here doing whatever after we gave him this check, because we've seen how that could go as well. So
we
there's a
did that
fine
already
line
with
that you got to walk.
We did that already with Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley came in and had that phantom season, and all of a sudden, oh, by the way, I'm football's not my love. I don't. It's not my thing. So listen, I hear you. Like I say, that's the perfect thing I'm talking about. Your Vic Beasleys of the world. You know, I'm not going to even go back further than him, because if I do, I'm gonna get upset, because you already know who the guy I'm talking about. I'm talking about his initial is J.A., who's the big cupcake eating dude I ever met, I ever seen, because he is nowhere near talented, nowhere near, just all size and just all fluff, just
I
straight
get
fluff. So,
it.
you know, I sit myself as a fan. I sat there, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who's watching this be like thinking the same thing. Like, how is it that a team that's deficient in one position fail year after year after year after year, no matter who they bring in? No matter who they bring in, it doesn't matter who it is. The last player that was worth a damn, okay, was John Abraham. Like I can't even wrap my brain around that. Like you can't. You mean
I'm
to
not.
tell
I'm not. I'm
me?
not. I'm not gonna let you disrespect Adrian Claiborne as we move on.
Listen
Listen,
here, listen here, listen.
listen.
Adrian Claiborne did stuff sporadically. Okay, I'm talking about where's that dude that's consistently on the edge, demanding the feel and attention.
Hey
That's
man,
what I'm
you
talking
right.
about,
You
Leo.
right. We have
Listen,
we.
listen. No disrespect to Claiborne did his thing. Listen, I'm not trying to dilute anybody, but I'm talking about the guy like a John Abraham. Like when John Abraham hit that field, they planned for him. They
I
had to
get it.
watch him.
We got to.
They
We
ain't
got to
watched
get.
nobody else. They watched him.
We we got to get somebody in here
See,
like
that's
that
what I'm
again.
saying. We have
And
not
and
seen
and
that.
and like I said, that's why we had this discussion. Can they do it? Will they do it? We'll have to see how this works out in the draft. Obviously, we brought in Leonard Floyd. I have a lot of optimism in him, but we'll talk about that a little later as the draft gets closer and what they plan on doing here because we got just a little bit of time to move forward and talk about a couple of more things. So let's move forward. Let's talk about the Braves just a little bit. I mean, obviously, not too much going on with the Atlanta Braves, right? Because they season just started, fresh off of opening day out in San Diego. They dropped one to the Padres, man. But listen, this is a team here in the Atlanta Braves that we never ever doubt. We never ever have any frustration with because this has been the team that has never really let us down, right? Two ships in our lifetime, Banks, and we understand the dynamic of what they do and what they have proven is Braves country. Unlike the Falcons, and I hate to pick on them, but the Braves are that team where they have solidified themselves as you know, that team, like you said, Braves country. You go anywhere in this the United States, any ballpark, like you said, Banks, we're gonna be there with a contingency of Braves fans that have grew up watching the Braves for whatever reason, whether it was TBS or whether they were just in awe of the success that they had through the 90s. And like we always joke about and talk about the fact that they should have multiple titles, but they end up getting one in 95, and obviously the latest one here in 2021. But the Braves are who they are, man. Opening day just happened, man. Padres out there on the West Coast right now. I think they might be playing one tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But you can get into some more detail with that. But it's back. Braves baseball is back, man. Still got 372 games to go. Banks, what's up with the Braves?
Listen here, we followed off last yesterday. Chris Sale hit the mound yesterday, and I think he pitched, struck out seven, I believe. He got tattooed 6 times, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and then the bullpen happened. So listen, I always compare opening day to week one in the NFL. It's overreaction. Everyone feel like they've seen enough. This is what it's going to be for the rest of the year. It's April. It's April. It's not even April yet. It's the end of March. It's not even the beginning of April. It's end of March. And we're talking about this is what we're going to be for the rest of the year, all the way till September. Okay. Baseball changes from week to week basis. If you watch baseball, this is not NFL. What you kind of see in the NFL for the first 4 weeks is kind of what your team is. Okay. Baseball is completely different. You can be something in April, be something totally different in July. Okay. You can be middle of the road, 500 team. By July, you win freaking 8, 9 in a row. And then you feel like you can't be stopped. Listen, it's week one. I mean, excuse me, it's game one. Game two is today. They play San Diego Padres once again. Ronaldo Lopez hits the mound for his start. We got a 4 game set with these guys, ladies and gentlemen. 4 games. Okay. Even if we start the season 0-4, we still see them 3 more times at Truist Park. Let's calm down. Let's relax. Yes, the bullpen is the weakest part of the team right now, but it will get better. It will get better. This team right here that's constructed, not even everybody. I'm just saying the core made it to the playoffs and faced the same team, had no business in the playoffs, and they somehow made it. I don't know how they made it. I'm looking back. I'm still trying to figure that out today. How did they even make it last year? They didn't have nothing Absolutely nothing. And they made it. So this is a
And
good
that's
baseball team. This is a good baseball team, folks.
And that's why we always say we never worry about them. We never worry about Snick Man, the experience that he has as a manager over there with them, and the talent. We still have talent. We still have some offensive talent. Obviously, man, injuries, are a big part of what has happened to us the last couple of years, man. But you still got a good nucleus here, man. You still got
Listen, Spencer Strider is yet to return. Ronald Acuna is yet to return. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be absolutely fine. And the thing is, again, this is I hate when you have a season like opening week of baseball and week one of the NFL because it's such a big overreaction week because it's the off season, everyone's anticipating, and then the first sight you see of your team didn't do what you think they were going to do, you go overboard. And that's the thing about sports that's kind of funny because it's like the anticipation of a season starting, yes, it's long, it's very long, and you get to that final time you get to watch your team finally, and then it didn't turn out the way you wanted, and then it's like same old, And this is this is a trip to me. 162 games played, and only one was played, and it was a loss. And all of a sudden, guess what? We're going to lose more games. Let me break that to y'all right quick. We're going to lose more games. We're going
a
to
lot of a
lose.
lot a lot a lot more games.
We're going to lose a lot more games,
It's a
and
marathon and not a sprint.
we're going to win some games. Okay, let's get that straight. We're going to win games. So let's pull the reins back. Let's get let's get back to focus of what baseball is. Baseball, like you just said, Leo, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going all the way to October. October is a whole nother season. We haven't even barely gotten spring yet, and we're
Yeah.
talking about fall. Okay, so we got to go through spring and summer. So we got a long way to go. A
a
long way to
lot,
go.
lot, a long way to go. A lot can happen between now and then, man. Shout out to the Braves, man. Obviously, like I said, they never let us down. Also, man, shout out, All-Star game. Is going to finally happen here, 2025, here up there at Truist. So that should be fun, man. Got a lot of stuff happening here with Major League Baseball. And obviously, man, I'm gonna try to stay up maybe and watch this game tonight against the Padres. I could not tell you who's going against who, but I'm gonna try to fire it up and look at it. Look, Banks, we rolled quite a bit through the podcast, man, and we're getting almost to the end of this thing, man. I wanted to touch on a couple other points, man, but we'll have to come back maybe next week and talk about a few other things. Obviously, we're wrapping up the NBA. The Hawks are doing well. Definitely want to talk about them. Maybe we'll have some more stuff to talk about them as they start to move into positioning as the post-game tournament starts to shape out and play itself out with the Hawks. Definitely want to talk about them. But before we get off the air, I definitely want to shout out Atlanta United, talk about them for just a second, man. Shout out our people over there at FOOTIEMOBATL. And tomorrow, as we talk about this show as it airs on Saturday, so Saturday evening, the Atlanta United will take on NYCFC. So right now, Banks, just to give you a little heads up, man, with what's going on MLS with Atlanta United as we are, 5 games into the season. Obviously, once again, as you talk about marathons, the MLS and soccer is a marathon season as well. We're 5 games in, 5 points, 5 stripes, 12 right now in the Eastern standings. I mean, it's still early. This is still a relatively new team. This is still a team that is trying to find their footing and find their identity. And like we know since this team's inception, Banks, is that they're going to find the identity. And once they do, I think they'll be okay. I think one of the biggest things with Atlanta United right now is consistency and trying to find consistency. Last game, obviously, we were able to steal a point up there in Cincinnati, 2-2 draw. I think that our signing that just came in, Latte, is going to be very, very good for us. He is already on a record-setting pace scoring goals. I mean, the last person we saw that were able to put goals and balls in the back of the nets for Atlanta United like this was Joseph. And I think that this guy is on pace to try to maybe match that or do what he can with this team. I think defensively, there needs to be a little more cohesion, and I think we'll be okay. So still early in the season with Atlanta United, but I definitely want to shout them out because I got a big game here against NYCFC in the Eastern Standings, and hopefully they can pull out a dub over there in Mercedes Benz. Banks, any thoughts or any ideas as to what we need to do or be patient with Atlanta United as this season progresses with them?
Well, you just stole my thunder. Look, just it's early, and we can't sit here and have this expectation of being the old five stripes. We have to take and roll as the punches are thrown to us. We're sitting here in 12th place. Listen, we were further down last season, and we end up somehow sneaking into that playoff spot. I'm not worried. I'm not going to begin to start worrying about what's going on right now. It's early. I'm all about getting the footing, getting the continuity. Let's get that together. Talk to me back in July and August when the chips are on the table and we need to go, because at this time we still trying to figure out what's up. We're good.
Like I said, new coach, man. Latte Life, man, doing this thing, man. Obviously, we talked about Miguel Almiron and him being back. There was international play going on. So, of course, we had a couple of players on international duty. So, as the MLS was going on, we did Miguel. He went to go play for his home country of Paraguay down there, I think. So, he missed the last game against Cincinnati. But that's just the way that it goes. But I think that, like you said, Banks, trusting the system, trusting the consistency, and trusting what they do. And I like what I see. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. Um, I think my personal opinion is this is going to be slow to get our footing, like you said, Banks. But once we do, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll set ourselves up fine and just trying to position ourselves in the East into making the playoffs. And also, we will be remiss if we talk about the tournaments within the MLS season and what happens. You still got the US Open Cup. You still got the other the tournament that we play with La Liga Mix. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. It's a long season, so you got to make sure that you set yourself up and position yourself to be able to be competitive in each and every aspect of MLS soccer. So I think we'll be fine. It's always gonna be fun. Like I said, tomorrow against NYCFC, can't wait to watch that game tomorrow evening. I'll also be back at the Benz on, I think, the 12th when they come back, and I think it's against the Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. So, Banks, I'm going to challenge you. I don't know what you got going on that week, but I will definitely be down there on the 12th to check them out.
Is that a
Uh,
Saturday?
that is a Saturday, so I'll definitely be down there to check that out on that day. It's another big day going on. I think the G-Day game is going on up there in Athens. We'll get a chance to talk about that on the next podcast with the G-Day game and what they got going on up there with college football. But like I said, a lot going on. We always talk about slow times and stuff going on, but it's a lot going on with sports in general year round. So right now we're at another one of these peaks where, hey, it's a lot of stuff to talk about. NFL draft coming up here in a couple of weeks. Like you said, got spring football with college. You got soccer. Obviously, we got to definitely do a deeper dive into soccer, Banks, man. Because guess what, Banks? We're almost a year away from World Cup, ATL, World Cup here in the United States, uh, North America, Mexico, United States, and Canada, obviously hosting the World Cup here in 2020. I remember the announcement, but Banks, I'm getting very much excited. It is totally upon us. We're almost a year away from seeing the World Cup and Atlanta actually hosting play here. So I'm very, very excited about that. So a lot to talk about here within the coming weeks as we talk about Atlanta sports and talk about just sports in general and the landscape of how everything is going on. Banks, before we cut out, man, let everybody know where they can find you, man. The days are counting down into your milestone birthday, but let everybody know where they can find you, man. Let everybody know where they can get at you. If they want to come out and hang out with the ATL 3-Style crew.
I'm not. Well, let me say this first, and I can't believe we sat here and we talked about the Masters all this time. We did not give a shout out to the TGL inaugural champion Atlanta, who had a golf team that won the championship in the TGA League. Congratulations, Atlanta. Listen, how could we? We sat there and let that go straight over our heads. We sat there, they played in the New York team and they beat them 2-0. Congrats to Atlanta. Yes, you can find me at babybanks80 on Instagram and at Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook. Please, if you want an invite to this epic event that's coming up in a couple of weeks, hit me up on my DMs. And yes, Leo, I hear you snickering over there, and Derico somewhere there laughing his butt off. But you know what? It's all good because I don't need an assistant anymore because it's working fine for me. I got it all under control. Hit me up. Oh yes, and shout out to the lady who hit me up saying that they saw our show. We appreciate you. I forget your name. I'm so sorry, but you said that you want us to talk more about the Atlanta Dream, and we are. We are going to talk about the Atlanta Dream for what they're bringing into the city, and we are going to make sure they are in the docket. Thank you, ma'am.
Got that, yeah, absolutely. Got that locked and loaded, man. Atlanta Dream. Shout out them, man. Brittany Grinding coming in here, man. Hey, man, they trying to lock and load and do their thing over there, man. So shout out, yes, to our fans, and we will. Hey, listen, Banks, you need to start recruiting. If they want to come on and talk about the Atlanta Dream, man, we are more than open to bring them on, and they can come on and share with us how they feel about the Atlanta Dream in the upcoming season, because we love to interact with fans, and we would love to talk and discuss things. About the Atlanta Dream in the upcoming season with them, man. So shout out to all our fans, man. Definitely respect that. And yes, got that locked and loaded for the next podcast, man, with the Atlanta Dream. You could definitely catch me, man, on whatever they call it over there these days, at Southern Set with 2 T's, and also at ATL 3 Style. That's over there on the X or whatever they call it crap these days, man. I can't even keep up, man. Also, if you're still on Facebook, man, you can catch us over there, ATL 3 Style over there on Facebook. Always, you catch us over there live. Also, catch us over there on YouTube, catch us on Instagram, catch us anywhere and everywhere. If you out there on social media, man, as we drop these podcasts, man, we appreciate the support. Definitely want to shout out everybody, man, that shows us love, man. Got to definitely give a shout out. I keep shouting out the Footy Mob ATL, man, because they definitely show us a lot of love, Bank. So I definitely got to show them a lot of love, man. And we'll bring on some of our favorite people, man. They show love to this show, man. Reggie, obviously, who brings tremendous insight into soccer. We'll definitely bring him back on. I gotta get my girl A-Ro back on here, man. I'll holler at her, man. See if I can get my president back on to talk to us a little bit about what's going on with Footy Mob and what's going on with ATL Soccer in Atlanta United. So I'm trying to holler at A-Ro. Got to shout out my boy Ray Sean, man. Definitely who a big fan of the show, man. And he tries to tune in every chance he get. Also, man, I got to shout out to my boy all the way up in the NYC, man. My boy Rocks Banks. Obviously, you know our boy Rocks up there in the NYC. As NYCFC comes into town this weekend, man. Got to get up with my boy Rocks, man, to see what's up with him. I don't know if he'll be in town this weekend, but definitely, man, next time he gets in town, man, gotta rock with him and gotta get up with him, and we definitely gotta get him back on the podcast to talk a little bit about soccer as well, man. So yeah, we love all of our fans. We love everybody that supports the show on a regular basis, and we're just gonna continue to bring it to you like we usually do, man. From a fan perspective, Banks. Before we go, what's up?
Listen, and people that see us out and about, do not be afraid to say hello to us. Hit the subscribe button if you see the show. I hear people that come to me all the time. I've seen you. I've seen you. Did you hit subscribe? You didn't. So just hit the subscribe. It help us out. You know what I'm saying? We know you see us. Hit us up. And yes, you're gonna see me in public. You're gonna see me at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the NFL draft party. Yes, I
They just
will
gonna
be
see you.
there.
They just gonna see
They
you. They
I
just gonna
don't
see
know,
you.
Leo. Are you coming? Because you don't like stuff like that. So are you coming?
Who said I didn't like stuff like that? Who
I'm
said
just
that?
saying. I'm just
You
saying.
know where you're gonna catch DOG, man. Yes, I will be at some of the events going on and around the town. Like I said, you could always catch me at Mercedes Benz, whether it's Atlanta United FC going on or whether the Falcons getting them up at kickoff 1 o'clock over there in that stadium. And yes, you'll see me on draft night over at Mercedes Benz. I will be there in the building. I don't know how long I'll be there, but I will be in the building for draft night over there at Mercedes Benz. So you can catch me over there as well. Like I said, you might catch me over there kicking it with Banks coming up here in a minute, celebrating his milestone birthday. That's gonna be epic. I don't know, Banks. Maybe we get some footage, maybe we get some video, man, and we can share that with the people when that goes down, man, and let everybody know how that goes down.
And let me
But,
and let me make it very abundantly clear that the
come on,
party is on the
come
19th.
on.
The my birthday, my B day is the 29th, April 29th. It's the April 29th. I'm a Taurus. I am a bull. So just let you know. Just let you know. There's not the 19th. I'm just celebrating on the 19th, but
We
the
celebrate
birthday
on the
is
19th.
actually
Going
on the
down on the
29th.
19th. Birthday on the 19th, going down on the birthday on party on the 19th, birthday on the 29th is going down. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of ATL 3 Style Podcast. I'm Leo G. That's my boy Banks. We're gonna be out.